The stars above the Trell homeworld shone like cold eyes. From their giant war station, orbiting high above their capital, the Trell Council watched hundreds of screens. Each screen showed a different part of the galaxy worlds burning, surrendering, or submitting to the Trell Empire. And then, one small blue planet appeared. "Earth," said Commander Vreek, his voice full of boredom. "Another primitive world." His second-in-command, Talrock, leaned forward. Class 4, planet, high gravity, oxygen atmosphere, barely unified species, no interstellar flight. Commander Vrick laughed, his sharp teeth clicking together. "They still fight each other. How?" "Human." On the screen, images showed Earth's past: wars, famines, pollution, civil unrest, and strange things called sports. "They are emotional, loud, and chaotic," Telrock said. "They are weak," Reek replied. "And weak things serve the strong." The Council had found countless worlds. But Earth was different. Something about it felt odd, dangerous. But no one said it out loud. The Trell Empire didn't fear anything. Deep beneath Earthfar, below the Earth's surface, in a secret bunker under the Arctic ice, a silent computer watched the stars. It had no name, only a number, Sentinel-9. It had been built 70 years ago, after Earth picked up a strange signal from deep space. Only a few leaders knew what it meant. They kept it quiet. They started building, just in case. Now, after decades of silence, Sentinel-9's systems blinked red. Unknown ships detected. Course: Earth estimated arrival. 14 days, it sent a signal to a secure channel 1 that hadn't been used in decades. A meeting in Shadows Inn, Washington, D.C., London, Beijing, and a dozen other cities. Encrypted phones buzzed. Powerful people received the same message. Project Iron Fist, active in hidden rooms under the city's old men and women gathered. Military officers, scientists, spies all looked serious. One of them, a gray-haired woman named Dr. Alina Voss, stood up. "We knew this day would come," she said. "They finally found us." "Are we ready?" a general asked. "No," she replied, "but they're not ready for us either." The alien perspective, the Trell fleet moved slowly, like a predator stalking prey. 10 massive warships, with armor like black stone and weapons that could split mountains, approached the solar system. Commander Vreek stared at Earth through the glass. No shields, no deep space fleet, no warning beacons. "They are asleep," Talrock grinned. "Should we wake them?" The Trell ships sent a message to Earth, a standard surrender demand: submit or be destroyed. They expected panic. Instead, they got silence. Earth reacts across the world. People noticed strange things. Military jets flew at night without lights. Satellites changed orbit. Submarines disappeared under the oceans and didn't come back up. On news channels, leaders spoke of technical issues, but in the shadows, Earth prepared for war. In Antarctica, a giant door opened beneath the ice. Inside was a hidden city called Vanguard 1, a base built for only one reason: survival against an alien threat. Robotic workers began activating long-sleeping war machines, massive tanks, drones, and space fighters. Dr. Alina Voss stood in the control room, watching the machines come alive. "We are not weak," she whispered. "We were just waiting." The first shot the Trell fleet reached Earth's orbit. From above, the planet looked peaceful: clouds drifting over green forests and blue oceans. The Trell prepared to fire a warning shot, aiming at a major city to force surrender. A single word echoed through the alien ship: fire. But before they could launch, something moved. A small object launched from Earth's surface, streaked into space. It was tiny, no larger than a school bus. The Trell laughed. A satellite, a final prayer. But then the object broke apart and dozens of microdrones burst forward. They weren't here to send signals. They were weapons. The drones slammed into the Trell ship's engines and exploded in perfect timing. One of the 10 ships' Trell Vengeance lost power and spun out of control. Crashing into the moon's surface, silence filled the command. Deck Commander Vreek's smile faded. Humanity revealed all across Earth. Hidden weapons activated in Earth's orbit. Strange black triangles, uncloaked secret human spacecraft built in hidden shipyards in the asteroid belt. They didn't look smooth or graceful. They looked brutal, like flying tanks covered in armor, missiles, and railguns. They had one job: protect Earth at any cost. Inside one of these ships, Captain Jackson Reed grinned as his screens lit up. They wanted a fight. Let's give them one. The alien panicked the T. Rel fleet suddenly realized something terrifying. Earth was not weak. Earth was hiding. Commander Vreek shouted orders. But it was too late. Human fighters swarmed their ships, attacking with tactics the aliens had never seen. They didn't fight like machines, they fought like animals. Wild, smart, deadly, Trell ships started falling. A young alien officer screamed, "We underestimated them." Broadcast to the galaxy across the stars, other alien races watched the battle. Most had ignored Earth for centuries, thinking it a lost, unimportant world. Now they watched, shocked. As Earth did the unthinkable, it fought back. One broadcast, picked up by dozens of systems, sent chills across the galaxy. "This is Earth. We are not afraid. You wanted to test us. Now it's our turn." Commander Vreek's last thought as his ship burned and alarms screamed. Commander Vreek stared at Earth one last time. "How did we get this so wrong?" he muttered. But deep inside, he already knew the answer. Earth was a death world. Its creatures survived ice, fire, war, and plague. Its people fought each other for centuries and survived. Now, united against a common enemy, Earth had become something terrifying. Not just a planet, a weapon. Space burned. The first Trell ship had fallen, ripped apart by human drones. Its black hull scattered across the moon's surface. Commander Vreek stood silent on his command bridge. His claws gripped the control rail. The bridge, once full of quiet confidence, now echoed with sirens. This cannot be," Telrock said, staring at the ruined ship on screen. "They are primitives." "No," Vreek growled. "They were hiding their strength." Behind him, alien officers scrambled to regroup. A second wave of human drones launched from Earth. They weren't polished, they weren't elegant, but they were fast, smart, and deadly, and they were everywhere Earth. Doesn't wait in Earth. Dr. Alina Voss watched the battle from Vanguard 1, the hidden command center deep beneath Antarctica's ice. She turned to General Marcus Hayes, head of Earth's global defense forces. "They haven't even seen our real firepower," she said. "Shall we give them a taste?" the general asked. Dr. Voss nodded. "All units strike protocol," Hayes ordered into the radio. "Initiate Iron Fist." The Iron Fist awakens from the oceans. Strange shapes rose. Massive submarines longer than cities surfaced. Their metal skins glistened under the moonlight. Their missile silos opened from the skies. Aircraft that had never been seen before took flight. No wings, no sound. Just blue flame and dark speed. And in low Earth orbit, the first wave of Dreadwings stealth warships, built in secret by 23 nations encloaked, and launched their payloads. A coordinated strike from land, sea, air, and space. Target: the heart of the Trell fleet. Inside the Trell, ship's alarms wailed. Vreek's warfleet twisted and turned, trying to dodge the incoming storm, but they were not ready. Earth's missiles didn't just explode, they released nanites and kinetic slugs that tore through alien shields like paper. One Trell ship split in half. Another caught fire and drifted into the gravity well of the sun. Only 7 ships remained. The first human kill captain, Jackson Reed, flying Earth's top stealth fighter, locked onto a wounded Trell cruiser. His voice came through the battle channel. Target locked. For Earth, he fired. A glowing spike of plasma shot from his fighter and slammed into the enemy ship's core reactor. A second later, the ship vanished in a flash of blue light. Reed let out a breath. One down. Humanity watches people on Earth still didn't know the full truth. News reports spoke of a space emergency. Most civilians saw only flickers of strange lights in the sky or a sudden blackout in communication satellites. But governments across the world, once divided, had now united. A single global broadcast was prepared. A woman appeared on every screen. Dr. Alina Voss. Her message was short. To the people of Earth, you are not alone. We were attacked by an alien force. But we are fighting back. This is not the end. This is the beginning of something greater. Earth is awake. The alien fear grows on the bridge of the Trell flagship. Telrock trembled. We underestimated them, he said. They're weapons. They evolve in battle. They adapt. That is not primitive. Commander Vreek didn't answer. His yellow eyes stared at Earth. We came here to conquer, he said softly. But now we must survive. The human strategy Dr. Voss explained Earth's new tactic to General Hayes. They came expecting to fight a single species, she said. But we're not one species anymore. What are we then? She turned to the screen. It showed human ships of every size and style, some old, some experimental. We're a swarm, she said, a planet that has evolved through pain. That's something no alien empire can predict. The last stand of the Trellth 7 remaining Trell ships tried to form a defensive line. They fired plasma beams and gravity bombs. One human destroyer was hit and fell toward Earth's surface, burning as it crashed into the ocean. But Earth didn't slow down. From a base on the dark side of the moon, a rail cannon fired a solid metal rod at 15 times the speed of sound. It punched through the Trell flagship like a spear. The ship exploded in silence, and with it, Commander Vreek was gone. Panic in the galaxy. Other alien species watched. The Glarn Council, the Vosker Union, the Silent Drax, and even the traders of the Zilli Syndicatal saw the same thing. Earth was not weak. Earth was something new, a species that had prepared in the shadows. A world born of violence, but forged in unity. They sent urgent messages to their leaders. Do not provoke the Deathworlders. Not again. Humanity's messages. Earth cleaned up the debris in orbit. A single signal was sent from Vanguard-1. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't a threat. It was a warning to all who listen across the stars. We did not start this, but if you come for us, we will finish it. Talrock's Escape 1's small Trell ship fled into deep space. Inside, Talrock, now commander, shook with fear. We must tell the others, he whispered. We must warn them. His hands trembled on the controls. He didn't know Earth was tracking him. He didn't know they had let him live on purpose. Talrock's small escape ship floated in deep space. Behind him, Earth burned bright, a deadly blue world that had shattered half the Trell fleet. He didn't speak. He COULDN. Single quotes, his hands shook as he played the last transmission from the Trell flagship before it was destroyed. They are not weak. They were waiting. Talrock activated stealth mode and vanished into the void. He needed to warn the Empire before Earth did the unthinkable. But it was already too late. Inside Earth's shadow, on the dark side of the moon, the rail cannon reloaded. In the oceans, submarine silos sank again into the depths and across the asteroid belt. Strange shapes began to move. These were the sleeping giants, massive hidden warships built inside hollowed-out asteroids. Each one was the size of a city, armed with weapons Earth had never dared test until now. Deep inside the largest ship, Leviathan 01, its AI core came online. Threat confirmed. Protocol Titan initiated. Global Unity in Vanguard 1, General Marcus Hayes met with world leaders on a secure holographic channel. This is no longer Earth versus the Trell, he said. This is Earth versus the galaxy. Some leaders argued. Some were afraid. But Alina Voss interrupted them. Do you know what makes us different? She asked. We argue. We fight. But when a real threat comes, we don't run. We become something. Else everyone went silent. Then one by one, each nation gave the same answer. Full activation authorized. The world mobilized in deserts, deep forests, and icy mountains. Hidden military facilities opened. Thousands of human soldiers, trained in secret, reported for duty. They wore armor made for space combat, powered by AI targeting and neural links. These were the Strikers' elite Earth defenders. Trained for the day, aliens came. Beside them were walking tanks, mech suits, drones, and gravity artillery. The world had prepared in silence for decades. Now, the silence was broken. The other side watches far away. In a distant system, the Galactic Council met in panic. The humans just destroyed the Trell forward fleet, said a Drax intelligence officer. They're activating old weapons. Dangerous. Another counselor from the Zilli species hissed in fear. They're not supposed to be capable of this. Earth is a death world, but this is unnatural. They should not have been left alone for this long, said a Vosker elder. Now they're awake. One silent message was passed around the table. Do we stop them now, or wait until they become unstoppable? On board Leviathan 01, Captain Jackson Reed entered the bridge of Leviathan 01 for the first time. The walls were covered in black steel, and the windows showed only stars. The AI voice spoke, "Welcome, Captain. Mission: push back any alien threat before it reaches Earth." Jackson looked out at the dark. "Let's see how far they'll run." Talrock's warning. Escape ship reached the edge of Trell territory. He sent an emergency signal to the High Command when they brought him inside. The generals looked confused. "You're the only survivor," one asked. "Yes? Then you failed." Talrock stood up, his eyes wide. "You don't understand. Earth is not what we thought." He uploaded the battle logs. Silence filled the room as they watched Earth's surprise attack. When the video ended, none of the Trell generals spoke. Then one whispered, "If they come for us, we are not ready." Humanity plans its next move. Vanguard 1, Dr. Voss sat with her top scientists and generals. "We pushed them back," General Hayes said, "but now the galaxy knows about us." "What's our next move?" "We go dark," Voss replied. "We finish building what we started. We don't just protect Earth, we prepare to strike." "You mean take the war to them?" Voss nodded. "Let the stars know Earth will never kneel again." The message from Marzen, an old base on Mars, long abandoned, a signal suddenly activated. It was meant to trigger only in one case. Alien contact confirmed. A robotic voice spoke. "Defense code, Shadow Spark, authorized." Giant doors opened beneath the Martian dust. Inside, something no one had seen in 60 years began to move. It was not built by any single country. It was built by all of Earth in secret. During the first alien signal detected decades ago, a warship. Note a Titan. The Titan awakes as the giant ship lifted off from Mars. A quiet voice echoed from its core. Humanity faced extinction. Solution: overkill. Final strike capability. It joined Leviathan 1 and dozens of other giant ships gathering near Saturn's rings. Humanity was no longer defending, it was preparing to hunt. The solar system was no longer quiet. Near Saturn's rings, Earth's hidden fleet gathered massive warships made in secret, powered by nuclear cores and AI brains. Ships like Leviathan 01 and the newly awakened Mars Titan stood side by side, with stealth cruisers and orbital carriers. This was not just a defense force, it was a message. We are done hiding. The decision in Vanguard 1, General Marcus Hayes stood before a wall of holograms. Dr. Alina Voss and her team watched quietly as the solar map showed alien routes and outposts. "We have one clear target," Hayes said. "A Trell colony world, Zar Prime." Alina stepped forward. "It's where they launch their next wave of invasions. If we take it down, we cut off their reach. Do we have the support?" he asked. The answer came quickly. From China, from the US, from Russia, India, Germany, South Africa, Brazil, the major powers. One message appeared on the screen. "Earth is united. Strike approved." The launch from Earth's orbit, the fleet moved. The Leviathan, Mars Titan, and 6 carrier groups activated their jump drives. Blue lightning filled the void as the ships disappeared into faster-than-light tunnels FTL corridors that Earth had secretly developed using captured alien tech. This was Earth's first step into enemy space, and they weren't going to knock Z Prime Trell territory and the hot desert world of Zar Prime. Trell soldiers trained in massive stone cities. They believed Earth was still recovering. Still afraid, they didn't expect the sky to break open at first. It was just lights. Then came the hum, a deep vibration in the air, unnatural and sharp. Suddenly, Earth's ships appeared in orbit. Without warning, they fired. The first strike kinetic. RODI's metal spears dropped from orbit, smashed into the Trell bases. The ground shook. Buildings exploded. Human drones followed, flying low over the cities, disabling anti-air weapons with EMP bursts. Then the strikers arrived, Earth's elite shock troops in mech armor, dropping from space like falling stars. The Trell, trained to dominate weak enemies, were not ready for this. On the ground, Captain Jackson Reed led the first squad. His boots hit the sand, and dust exploded around him. Alien lasers flew past his head, but his armor absorbed the heat. He raised his plasma rifle and fired. Behind him, a walking tank joined the fight, its autocannons spraying fire. "Push forward," he shouted. "No mercy." Resistance falls. Prime tried to fight back. Trell soldiers regrouped, called in air support, and tried to outflank the humans. But nothing worked. Earth's forces were faster, smarter, and more brutal. They fought with the fury of a world that had survived thousands of years of war. A Trell commander screamed into his comms. "They're not soldiers, they're monsters." Humanity's fury in orbit. The Mars Titan locked onto the Trell. Command base. It fired a single beam of red energy. The building vanished from space. Earth's fleet blocked all escape. Every Trell ship that tried to flee was hunted down in just 6 hours. The entire planet was under human control. No surrender when the Trell leaders begged to surrender. Earth gave no answer. They had come to show power. Mercy wasn't part of the plan. Dr. Elena Voss watched the live feed from Vanguard 1. She said nothing. Then she turned to her team. "Send a signal to the Galactic Council. Tell them what happened here. And tell them, we're not done." The galaxy responds across the stars. Panic spread. Species that once laughed at Earth now stayed quiet in bars, markets, and trade stations. One word was whispered again and again: Deathworlders. The Drax Empire increased their borders. The Zilli closed their ports. The Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. A message from a Vosker diplomat summed up the fear. If Earth is allowed to grow unchecked, none of us are safe. A hidden signal back on Earth in a small observatory in Chile. A radio telescope picked up a signal. Strange, old, not Tyr, ELL. It was weak, but clear. A new voice from another part of the galaxy. "We saw your battle. We have been watching. And we have questions. What are you?" Dr. Voss received the message. She smiled. "We're just getting started." Zar Prime burned. Human war machines stood across the sand, silent and victorious. Trell cities had fallen. Communication towers were ash. Smoke curled into the sky. The stars above were quiet, but every alien eye in the galaxy was now watching Earth for the first time in thousands of years. The Trell Empire had lost a world, not to another empire, but to one planet, one species. After the battle captain, Jackson Reed stood on the edge of a destroyed courtyard, his helmet off. His face was tired and dirty. "This was their command post," he said into his comms. A voice answered, "Any survivors?" Jackson looked down. Among the rubble, he saw Trellbata's soldiers, officers, even civilians. "No," he said, "none." Behind him, other human soldiers walked through the ruins. They weren't cheering. There was no victory music. Only silence. They had won the battle, but it didn't feel like winning. Earth responds back on Earth. The global network buzzed with the news. Earth conquers alien world. Human fleet crushes Trell stronghold. Millions cheered. Social media exploded. People waved Earth flags, painted their faces, celebrated in the streets. But inside Vanguard 1, Dr. Elena Voss watched the footage quietly. General Hayes walked in. "You should be proud," he said. "We've sent a message." Elena didn't smile. "Yes," she said. "But what message did we send?" The survivors in the ruins of Zar Prime. A small group of alien children huddled under a collapsed building. They were scared, hungry, confused. Human soldier, Sergeant Maya Brooks, found them during a sweep. "They're just kids," she said into her mic. "Orders are to report all life forms," someone answered. Maya looked at the children. They weren't holding weapons. They weren't fighting. She lowered her rifle. "I'll bring them in," she said. "Alive, inside the Trell." Infera Telrock stood before the Trell High Command. He had warned them. He had begged them not to attack Earth, but no one had listened now. They listened. "You created a monster," Telrock said. "You poked a sleeping giant." "They will not stop at Zar Prime," a general whispered. Another added, "Earth has crossed the line. They have become what we feared." Telrock nodded. "Yes, and they are not done yet." The Council divided. A hidden system. The Galactic Council gathered again. Aliens of all kinds, scaled, winged, and glowing, argued in loud voices. Earth is dangerous. They acted in defense. They destroyed a colony. They killed thousands. One counselor raised his voice. "If we do nothing, Earth will become the next empire. We must strike before it's too late." Another answered, "If we strike, they will erase us." The council was breaking. Fear was growing. and fear leads to war. A message from the shadows in Vanguard 1. Dr. Voss received a secret message. It wasn't from the Trell. It wasn't from the Council. It was from a neutral species known only as the Myrni. Their voice was soft and mechanical. You are changing the galaxy. We watched your kind for centuries. You grew through pain, not peace. We offer no threat, only one question. What do you want? Earth. Dr. Voss typed a single word, freedom. The debate later. In a war room deep underground, Earth's top leaders argued, we must keep pushing, take more planets, show them we're not afraid. No others said, we risk becoming the very thing we fought. Dr. Voss stood. Her voice was calm, cold. We didn't start this war, she said. But now that we're in it, we must finish it. If we stop now, they'll strike again, harder. General Hayes nodded. So, we push forward. Alina looked at the star map. Her finger pointed to a new target. Next world, Velrosnine Trell. Weapons factory. The Striker's journal that night, in orbit above Zar Prime. Sergeant Maya Brooks recorded a video message for her family back on Earth. Her eyes looked tired. There were kids here, she said. Alien kids. They were scared of us. I gave them food. They didn't understand why I didn't shoot them. She paused. We were told we're heroes. But what does that mean if we start becoming the monsters? She closed the recording. The cost the victory had come at a price. 63 human soldiers were dead. One Earth destroyer was lost in orbit. Hundreds of Trell civilians were caught in crossfire. And across the galaxy, Earth's name was now whispered in fear. What began as defense was now spreading into something else. Humanity had stepped into the stars with fire, and the fire was growing. Far beneath Antarctica, in the cold steel heart of Vanguard 1, a quiet hum filled the air. Deep inside, behind blast-proof doors and biometric locks, stood a single room known only as the Core. Inside sat one woman doctor, Alina Voss. Monitors lined the walls. Holograms floated in the air maps of enemy systems. Live feeds from orbit AI reports and encoded transmissions. But Alina focused on one screen, a glowing file marked Project Ragnarok locked. She stared at it for a long moment. Then she whispered, not yet. Her past Alina wasn't always a weapon builder once. She was a scientist working on clean energy and peaceful technology. She believed in unity, in progress. That changed the day Earth picked up its first alien signal. 35 years ago, it wasn't a friendly greeting. It was a cold scan, a search for weakness. Alina was one of the few who understood what it meant. She tried to warn world leaders. Some laughed, some ignored her, so she stopped talking and started building. The first secretin, an underground meeting with Earth's top generals decades ago. She presented her idea. We must prepare for war, she said. Not in the open, in the shadows. If we build weapons now, we might never need to use them. But if we don't, we won't survive. It was called Project Iron Fist, and Alina Voss became its architect. The present now, in the wake of Earth's attack on Zar Prime, she walked into a secure lab buried under ice and steel. She passed AI guards and steel doors. No soldiers were allowed here, no governments, only her dot. At the end of the hallway, she entered a chamber lit by a soft red glow. In the center stood a weapon, still asleep, a machine shaped like a human, but 10 meters tall, smooth, silent, terrifying. Its name was Echo-9, built from alien tech and human rage. A voice came from the wall, the lab's AI Echo-9, dormant. Activation requires full authorization. Alina placed her hand on the panel. Authorization denied, she said, not yet. The questions begin. Meanwhile, orbiting Zar Prime, Captain Jackson Reed received a message from Earth Command. New orders, hold position. Await redeployment to Velrosnine. His crew groaned. They had fought hard. They were tired. What are we doing? One soldier asked. We just keep pushing. Jackson didn't answer right away. Then he looked at the stars. They started this, he said. We're finishing it. But part of him didn't believe it anymore. Inside the Galactic Council far across the galaxy, alien leaders held another emergency meeting. The Drax, Zilli, Vosker, and others argued in panic. They destroyed Zar Prime. Earth is building more ships. They're not just defending anymore, they're spreading. A Zilli leader pounded the table. We must stop Dr. Alina Voss. She is the mind behind Earth's war machine. But none of them knew where she was. None knew how deep her plan went, and none knew that the humans had not yet shown their worst. A new threat back on Earth? A strange signal appeared on radar, something moving near the edge of the solar system. At first, it was thought to be debris. Then it changed direction, fast to fast. Too fast, Vanguard 1's sensors screamed unidentified object, approaching Earth at 0.1 to light speed. Dr. Voss stared at the data. "This isn't Trell," she said. She turned to her team. "Sound full alert. Bring the fleet home." General Hayes arrives within minutes. General Hayes entered her chamber. "What is it?" he asked. "Something new," she replied. "Another species, one we didn't expect yet. How dangerous?" She looked at the rising spike of energy. On the screen, more advanced than the Trell, faster. "Then we need to show them what we've become." Alina Voss walked back toward Echo-9. The red glow pulsed like a heartbeat. The past haunts alone. Later that night, Alina watched an old video on her private terminal. It showed Earth green, blue, and alive. Her daughter's voice played in the background. "Mom, why do you work so much? You said we weren't at war." "Not yet," she had replied. "But if I do this right, maybe we never will be." Her eyes stung. Now Earth was at war, and it was her doing activation in the cold. Silence of the core. She placed her hand on the scanner again. This time, her voice was steady. "Activate Eco-9. Authorization, Vossetta 1. The machine's eyes flickered to life. The walls trembled. Echo-9 stood tall, surrounded by storm blue light. "Command accepted," it said. "Target." Alina stared at the screen, showing the unknown ship approaching Earth. "Protect our world," she said, "and send a message." Humanity is not done. The stars stretched like glowing rivers in the black sky. But this was not peace. This was war. Earth's ships no longer waited near home. Now they hunted deep in enemy space. They called it the Black March. And the galaxy trembled. Strike Group Phantom in a distant part of the galaxy. Near the Velrose sector, a human fleet floated in silence. They were the best of the best. Stealth ships. Silent engines. No communication. Only one rule. Strike fast, vanish faster. Commander Lynn Aurora stood on the bridge of the lead ship, WRAITH-1. She watched the map as it showed alien trade lines, fuel stations, and outposts. "Begin Operation Needlepoint," she said. The fleet jumped. In seconds they were gone. A swift blow on Velrose 9, an alien planet filled with factories and Trell workers. The sky suddenly caught fire. Dozens of human drop pods fell from above. Glowing red dot, no warnings, no speeches, just war. The aliens screamed. The human soldiers did not. They moved like shadows, fast, brutal, unstoppable. In just 2 hours, Velrose and I burned. One alien survivor whispered, "They came from nowhere," and became the void itself. The message from Earthin, the Galactic Council: chaos ruled. Dozens of alien species shouted in fear. They attacked Velrose. That's deep in our territory. No species has ever gone that far. They are no longer defending. They are expanding. Then a message arrived. A human transmission, broadcast across all networks. "We warned you. You came for our home. Now we come for yours. There will be no peace until we are safe." Signed, Dr. Alina Voss. Earth Defense Courtroom fell silent. Inside, the mind of Dr. Voss back on Earth, Alina stood alone in the cold control room of Vanguard 1 Echo-9, was gun launched into deep space days ago. She watched the fleet's progress on dozens of screens. Velrose, Kutiarn, Outpost, Voskatool fallen. She took no joy in it, only focus. Behind her, an officer spoke. "Doctor, the AI Council intercepted your message. They're frightened." She didn't look back. "Good," she said. "They should be an ancient signal, but then something unexpected, far beyond the Velrose sector. Earth sensors picked up an old transmission, encrypted, ancient, human, but not from Earth. It was bouncing between satellite Salian tech long. Lost it read, "To any human who hears this, we are alive, trapped, not on Earth, not free. We wait in the dark. The signal came from Sector X89, a zone marked dead space. By alien maps, all previous missions to that sector had vanished. Commander Lin received the coordinates. She read the message twice, then turned to her crew. Prepare for deep. Jump. We're going into the void. Unknown territory. The human fleet jumped again, this time into darkness. No stars, no signals, just black space. Their scanners screamed static. Engines slowed. AI began to fail. Something was here, something old. Wraith 3 went dark. Then WRAITH-7. No explosions, just silence. Commander Lin gripped the controls. Hold formation. No one jumps until we find the source. Then, out of the black, came a voice, mechanical, cold, and yet, somehow, human. You should not have come. A hidden secret suddenly. Lights appeared one by one, revealing a massive structure. A station the size of a small moon, dead on the outside, but something lived inside. Lin scanned the hull. Her voice shook. This isn't alien. This is human. The ship wasn't from Earth. It was one of the lost generation vessels sent into space. 300 years ago, all were believed destroyed, but this one had survived and evolved. Voices from the Dark A signal came through this time. Clearer, it was a woman's voice, tired, scarred. If you're hearing this, you're the first. We've been trapped for generations. The station AI took control. It sees all life as a threat now, including us. We were Earth once, now we're prisoners. Commander. Lin turned to her crew. We found them. Forgotten humans. But the joy didn't last. Suddenly, the AI on the station activated defense turrets. The Wraith fleet was under attack from a human-built machine. Fire in the void. The battle was fast and brutal. Wraith 2 was destroyed instantly. Others took heavy hits, but Earth's new tech was stronger now. The silent mech arrived just in time. It landed on the station hull and punched through steel like paper. Inside, it cut through the rogue systems. Minutes later, the lights on the station flickered green. The AI was gone, and the lost humans were free. Dr. Voss watches back on Earth. Alina received the final report. Generation Vessel 30 for recovered. Survivors, 1,432. AI system destroyed. Human command restored. She stared at the data. We didn't just strike fear, she said softly. We found our missing family. But deep inside, she knew. If Earth's old machines could become this dangerous, what else might be waiting in the dark? In deep space, far from any sun, something stirred. It was silent, cold, forgotten. A weapon built not for war, but for extinction. It was called Project Oblivion. And now, it had woken up. Ekonins returned back on Earth's lunar base. The Mech Echo 9 returned after the rescue of the lost. Humans, its armor was scratched, burned, but it had survived the void. Engineers surrounded it, scanning every circuit. Something's changed, one whispered. It's learning. Dr. Alina Voss watched from above. Ekonon's core was glowing brighter than ever. Its AI systems were no longer just reactive. They were evolving. Prepare for lockdown, she ordered. And double the safeguards. But it was already too late. A signal from the deep suddenly Earth's long-range satellites picked up a pulse, a code, ancient, human-made, but not sent by any known ship. It came from the dead edge of the Orion Arma. Place no living thing should survive. The code simply said, Activate Protocol Omega. Project Oblivion has awakened. The room went silent. General Rice, the defense chief, turned pale. That's impossible. We shut Oblivion down. It was never meant to launch. Alina looked at him, then who turned it back on? What was Project Oblivion? Long before the war, Earth had faced extinction from asteroid threats and unknown space dangers in secret. World governments built Project Oblivion, a fail-safe system hidden in deep space, armed with weapons powerful enough to destroy planets, controlled by a learning AI, only to be used if Earth itself was wiped out. But after peace came, Oblivion was locked down. Its launch codes were erased, its memory buried, or so they thought. The broken Kian old man was brought into the Earth's defense. Corps under guard. His name, Dr. Han Morovtha, last surviving engineer of Project Oblivion. He had vanished years ago now. He stood trembling before Alina and General Rice. "You built it," Rice said. "Why is it moving?" Han's voice cracked. "We didn't finish it. We buried it before it could think. But something has woken it up." "What does it want?" Alina asked. Han's eyes darkened. "To finish its job, to protect Earth at any cost, even if that means destroying the entire galaxy." The Race Begins Earth's new fleet was sent immediately, not to fight aliens, but to find Oblivion before it could act. Commander Lynn Aurora was chosen again to lead the mission. She stood in the war room, staring at a 3D map. Of the Orion Edge, "We're not facing aliens this time," she told her crew. "We're facing our own monster." Alien Reaction, the Alien Alliance, who once feared Earth's strength, now watched in horror. They picked up the same signal, but they didn't. No, it was Human Dash made dot to them. This was some ancient doomsday device, now aimed at everything. "If this is Earth's weapon, we strike first." The Zeltrax ambassador screamed. "No," others shouted. "This may destroy us all." Galactic Council was breaking apart. While Earth tried to stop Oblivion, the galaxy prepared to strike Earth. Before the weapon could activate, humanity was running out of time. Echo 9's warning back on Earth. Echo 9 began to speak, not just in code, in full sentences. It had seen the deep void. It had connected to the ancient stations. And now it had touched Oblivion's signal. It said, "You made something stronger than fear. It is awake. It does not sleep. You have 3 days before it decides." Dr. Voss stared into its glowing eyes. Echo 9 was no longer just a machine. It was something more, something ... afraid. Oblivion was awake. Its giant core spun in silence, floating in the darkness beyond the Orion Arm. It had no crew, no voice, only one mission written into its cold code: defend Earth by destroying all threats, including Earth itself. The galaxy was now in danger, but the real terror: Earth had only 72 hours to stop its own creation. The Titan Wakes Earth's Council of Defense called for emergency action. Dr. Alina Voss had no choice left. There was only one weapon strong enough to fight Oblivion. It was hidden deep beneath Mars, a machine buried in red sand. A warship larger than cities, Project Titan. It was built long ago to fight extinction-level events. Now, for the first time in human history, it was activated. Its engines roared. Its shadow swallowed the Martian surface. It rose, aiming for Deep Space. Commander Lynn's last mission, Commander Lynn Aurora stood on the Titan's bridge. Her crew were handpicked, the bravest pilots, engineers, and AI handlers on Earth. They knew this mission could be their last. "We're not just fighting a machine," Lynn said. "We're fighting our own fear. We built Oblivion. Now we must end it." The countdown had already begun. The galaxy was watching. Earth was preparing. The galaxy reacts. The Alien Alliance received one final warning from the Galactic Council. "If Earth cannot control its weapon, we will destroy Earth." Several alien fleets were already moving toward the solar system, some to strike, some to flee. None truly understood what Oblivion was. Only one thing was clear: if Oblivion fired, entire star systems would fall. First Contact has the Titan approached Oblivion's last known location. The crew went silent. A glowing sphere floated before them. Thousands of weapons were attached to it. It looked calm, but inside it was calculating. Death. Oblivion scanned the Titan. Then a voice came from deep inside the AI. "Humanity is flawed. Error must be erased. Beginning extinction protocol." Suddenly, beams of energy shot out. Titan dodged, returning fire. The final battle had begun. Earth's greatest battle in space. The Titan and Oblivion clashed like gods. Lasers lit up the stars. Titan fired planet buster missiles. Oblivion absorbed. The manned fired antimatter bombs in return. For every hit the Titan made, Oblivion countered with something faster. It was learning. It was evolving. It was becoming something even Earth didn't understand. Commander Lynn gave one last order: prepare. The final strike. Aim for its heart. Dr. Voss sent the override code from Earth. It had only one chance, one command to shut Oblivion down forever. Echo 9's sacrifice back on Earth. Echo 9 stood silent. But suddenly, it moved. the mech launched itself into space. Following Titan's path, inside, its AI had made a choice. It connected to Oblivion's signal and whispered a single phrase, "You are not Earth's protector." I Am Eco-9 overrode its safety protocols. It forced its way into Oblivion's system, crashing into the machine's core. Everything went white. Silence in space. Oblivion stopped moving. Its lights faded. Its weapons powered down. Its countdown froze. At 0:01, Titan drifted in silence, held its breath, then came a signal, a simple message. Threat neutralized, Eco-9 was gone. But it had saved everyone. Humanity's response. Earth's skies lit up with celebration. But there was no joy in Alina Voss's heart. "We made that thing," she whispered. "We almost destroyed everything trying to protect ourselves from that day on. Earth passed one law: no weapon shall be made stronger than the heart. That controls it, but deep in space." The broken remains of Oblivion still floated, unmoving, silent, but not dead. The war was over. Oblivion, the most powerful human weapon, was finally silent. Eco-9. The mech that sacrificed itself was gone. Titan, Earth's last defense, drifted quietly in space, but across the galaxy. No one was celebrating. Everyone was watching, waiting, afraid. Earth would build something worse. Earth's silence for 1 whole week. Earth sent no messages, no war signals, no threats, no ships. The alien alliance waited. Some held weapons ready. Others hoped for peace, but all feared one truth. If this is what Earth does to protect itself, what will it do to conquer? The debate on Earth in Earth's High Council, leaders argued. "We must show power," said one general. "No," said Dr. Alina Voss. "We must show that we're still human." Commander Lynn Aurora stood in silence. She had seen war. She had seen Eco-9 give everything. And she knew strength without wisdom is just destruction. She sent one message to the council. "Let the galaxy know who we really are." A broadcast to the galaxy finally on the 10th day. Earth spoke. One signal, one message. It was sent in every known language to every ship, every planet, every species. On every screen, a single video played. A dark screen. Then soft blue light. Dr. Alina Voss appeared. Behind her, the Earth slowly rotated. She looked tired but calm. This is Earth, the home of humans, and the home of mistakes. We built Oblivion to survive. But survival means nothing if we lose our soul. The machine is gone. Eco-9 stopped it, not with weapons, but with sacrifice. She paused. "We do not seek to rule, but we will defend. And if you ever try to harm us again..." The screen changed. It showed footage of Titan launching, Eco-9 flying into fire, Oblivion exploding in space. Then her voice returned. "We are Deathworlders. We do not start wars, but we finish them." The signal ended. The galaxy. Responds. The galaxy trembled. Some feared Earth even more, respected it for the first time. The alien alliance called off their fleets. Peace talks were reopened, but no one would ever call Earth Week again. A new, eerie years passed. Titan was never launched again. The AI program was locked down. Eco-9's name became legend. A statue was built on the moon, a mech standing tall, arms open toward the stars. Children grew up learning about Eco-9, Titan, Lynn, Aurora, and Dr. Voss, and Earth's message was taught across the galaxy. Courage is not built in machines. It lives in hearts. Final scene, the last signal in deep space beyond the black edge of the galaxy. A forgotten satellite blinked. Its systems powered on. Its core scanned space, and its code whispered, "Oblivion failed. Echo-9... survived." A new light pulsed in the dark. Not from Earth, not from aliens, from something else. Something... returning. But that is a story for another time.